I want to introduce you to my friend Patrick. Patrick, I met him a few years ago because I discovered his restaurant, Grapao, which is the best Thai fusion, Asian fusion. Not in California, not this side of the Mississippi Delta, but I'd say in the entire country. I've literally had guys who've flown in and they're like, you gotta take me somewhere nice. I'm like, I'm gonna take you exactly where you need to go. So guys from Australia, from Singapore, from Europe, Germany, England have come to his establishment and they've said the same thing. This is the best damn Thai food I ever had. So, without further ado, Patrick, how's the Lord? Oh yeah, give it up for Patrick. Yeah, it's working.
For me now, I'm feeling like now I have Jesus to back me up. Now I can make impossible thing to make it happening right now. When I say that, I really mean it because I did tested him. I don't know him before. Like what I'm saying, I'm born Buddhist all my life. And I come here and I'm going to start the business because I believe that I can do it. And I did it. Me and my wife moved from Texas with $300 in the pocket. And we not even know we're going to make it to Los Angeles, but we did it. And from there on, our business is growing like crazy. And before it's growing this far, I was stuck at one time, and I don't know what to do because 2008, when the economy was so bad, everybody's struggling. People that used to come to the restaurant for like 5-7 times, or 5 times a week, down to like 1 and all that kind of stuff. All the sales start dropping like crazy. I was getting stressed out so bad that I don't know what to do. Before all this happening, let me back it up a little bit. Somebody tried to talk, my friend Ben Chan, he's Korean. Ben always asking me about, hey, you know what, you should go to church and you believe in God. And I said, please don't talk to me about that. I am really against it. I don't like Jesus. I don't like him back then. To be honest, because I don't know why. It's just because I'm born Buddhism, and that's why I feel like, okay, I'm good where I'm at right here. Anyhow, Ben tried to invite me to go to church so many times, and I said, no, I'm good, I'm busy, blah, blah, blah. Anyhow, one day, he tricking me. He's like, look, Patrick, can you do me a favor? And I said, okay, what can I do for you? He said, it's my turn to make food for the church member, and I need your food. Can you bring the food for the service? And I said, okay, well, I can do that. At least I can do. So when I first got there, he told me, he would say, look, Patrick, come here at 11 o'clock, okay? I said, okay, 11 o'clock. So he said, when the church's over, then everybody's going to have lunch. And which is actually, when I got there, 11 o'clock, I said, well, I'll bring the food for you guys. Are you ready to eat? He said, oh, no, we haven't started service yet. So I was kind of like, oh, here you go again. I said, okay, well, what do you want me to do? So he said, okay, come on in. Pastor invited me, and I'm sitting right over here like I'm the front, but I'm the VVIP. Not VIP, I'm a VVIP that day. He was sitting over there, and then he started preaching. But then again, they went to Korean church, so they're preaching in Korean. I was just sitting over there, I was like, oh, wow, really? The pastor was just standing over here, just walking around, start preaching in Korean. I said, well, here you go, Lord. I'm going to lose today again, kind of like, wasting my time. During the time that I was sitting over there was a big cross in the church. It's just right over there. So I just stand at that cross and doesn't think much about anything. But then again, for some reason, I don't know why, I would just thought it to myself, and I say, Jesus, Lord, I heard so much about you. I don't know you much because I'm born Buddhist all my life. I don't know much about Jesus' story or anything like that. And I say to myself, I say, but you know what? I don't mind getting to know you for a little bit, one day. And I leave it like that. And I swear, ever since I say that, things start showing something that I wouldn't understand. But it was so many coincidences that things happen in my life that I end up meeting him. After that, when the 2008 start coming, everything started to crash. I told my wife saying, look, I'm already in the business at that time. And I told my wife, say, look, honey, if this thing doesn't get better in 3 months, we have to shut this thing down because we keep losing money every month. And as a business person, if it doesn't make sense if you doing a business and you're going to lose it, keep on losing money. So I told her, say, look, if this thing doesn't better, we have to shut it down. So during the time of that, I was so stressed. I woke up at 4 o'clock every morning to check my bank account, just to make sure that I have enough money to pay for everybody. I pay all my employees first before I pay myself. That's the way it is back then. Anyhow, after I check the bank account, look at the bank account, I say, oh my God, I'm short today. What am I gonna do? Right after you check, when that stress time come in, I cannot go to bed anymore. So I start telling my wife, I say, look, can we go walk around and because I can't go to bed anymore. She said, okay, let's go. So we start walking around the neighborhood for about a week. It doesn't get better. One day we meet a couple that walk in the morning like us, and we just say hi. For some reason, they was mentioned to me like, you ever walk Mountain Lubido? I say, oh, Mountain Lubido, no, never do that before. It's like, go do it. It's a nice walk. You know, you can walk, you know, it's beautiful. So a week later, we decided to do that, and then we did. We went, walked Mountain Lubido all the way to the top, and this is what I see. I saw a cross on the Mount Lubido, and have this guy sitting over there praying. I don't know what he say, but he looks stressed like me. You know? Maybe I'm a sweater. And then after he came down, another person going back up there, I would just stand there and watch and say, oh. For me at that moment, I feel like, you know what, I got nothing to lose anymore. I got to go talk to Jesus. Maybe he can make miracle because I heard he can make miracle. I heard he can make things happen. For me, when you hit that rock bottom, you do anything just to survive. I'm surviving. And that's make me going up there, walk with my dog and my wife, and then I told my wife, say, honey, hold this. She said, where are you going to go? I said, I'm going to go up to the cross. I said, for what? Don't worry, I got this. And then when I went up there, I would sit there. I remember it was close to the time, it was the morning time, the sunrise started going. I was so peaceful back then, I don't know how. It just happened, okay? I was feel so peaceful, and I start praying. I say, Lord, I'm in deep trouble right now. My business is going to down. I'm going to owe a lot of people money. I might lose everything right now. One thing about me is because I believe in myself so much. I came here, I'm 16 years old, all by myself. When I make it that far, I feel like I'm the one. I can make things happen. Like what I'm saying, I'm just good, but I'm not the best. When you want to be the best, you have to believe in God. I'm telling you, I felt God touching my shoulder. When I really got to know him, he touched my shoulder, and he gave me high power that I don't understand. But I'm telling you, I felt it, and he did make change for me in the situation where I'm about to shut down to the point that I'm going to expanding. Is that amazing or what? Okay. And before those things happening, I've been testing him, asking him, like, Lord, you think you're that great? Can you do this for me? I did that. And I'm telling you what, when he answered me, it doesn't take him months or years. He gave me 3 days, I got my answer. Boom. Lord, can you think I can do this better? Boom. Slapping me left and right. So you testing me, son? I know, he did. I did test him because you know what? I thought this is some coincidence. All these things happening in my life right now is coincidence. I'm still the badass one. You know, I make things happen. And then I tested him. I keep on testing him. I tested him, and my business is getting better and better and better. And until I start getting scared, it's like, wow. Maybe now I start believing. I'm not believing that side of the thing that maybe this is not coincidence anymore. Certain things that I asked, I could never fix that thing fast enough, but then it's happened all the time during the time that I start getting to know him. Until one day, I'm past that level that all the situation that I'm in, I'm get out of it. And he still doesn't believe in him. I don't know why, because I feel like I'm the one who make this thing happen. And then I could receive the letter that destroyed my dreams. Kind of like, I opened up the mail and said, oh my Lord, really? Is this really gonna happen? I thought you liked me, you know? So anyhow, when I got that letter, I told myself, I said, you know what, I'm gonna test God, this is last time. Because I can see, I know he's already gave me all what I'm asking for, but I still doesn't believe in him. But then again, at that time, I would told myself, I said, look, Lord, if you can make this thing happening today, you can make this thing happening, get it out of my way, I'm surrender. You know how long it takes? It doesn't take a month. It doesn't take a year. It takes 3 days. I received another letter that when I opened it, I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe, I can't tell you what it is, but what I'm saying to you is like, what I'm asking is impossible. I know myself that there's no way this thing gonna happen. And he answered me in 3 days, that quick. Just like, you told me you're gonna slender, you better slender right now. I called Pastor John at 2 o'clock when I received the letter. I say, Pastor John, can you baptize me? He told me, say, when you want to do it? I say, right now. He said, are you serious? I say, I'm not joking. And I said, well, you wanted to do it. I have a friend that has a swimming pool. I called Jonathan. His name was also Jonathan. I said, John, can you use your swimming pool? I say, what are you going to do? I want to baptize in your pool right now. He was like, are you serious? I say, yes, I am super serious, because when I received that letter, when I surrender, I mean that I was testing him so many times that I'm scared, and I was like, oh my God, he's watching me. Every move I did right now, he's watching me. And when I say I'm slender, I call him. You bring a group of people, and he dipped me in the pool, and I baptized that day. And, well, thank you, Pastor John. I'm serious. This is a true story I'm telling you today. I'm so glad to be here to be able to share this to you, because I'm a non-believer. But now I'm completely God lover. I talk to a lot of young people. I'm trying to talk to a lot of people that doesn't believe. You know how sometimes you start talking with about God's story or asking people. Sometimes people doesn't like it. They get up and say, oh yeah, I'm fine, leave. Which is just fine. I'm not blaming them because I used to be like that before. But I'm telling you what, I have a lot of young people that come to me and say, Patrick, I want to be like you. I want to own a business. I want to do this. I want to do that. I say, what you do? You can do, if I can do this, so everybody can. I want to tell you this. If you have a plan to do something today, please don't put it on saying tomorrow. Because if tomorrow never comes, you know what? You're going to miss out a lot of opportunity. A lot of people scared to starting business or trying to do something and all that kind of thing. I always, first thing when people ask me, say, what can I do to be like what you're doing right? I'm not special or better than you guys. I'm just lucky that I meet God early. That's it. I didn't wasting my time another 10 years to meet him. He make my life better, and he continue making my life being better and better all the time. I'm telling you this because it's happening to me. I'm a normal people. I'm just like everybody else here. But when you believe in God and you pray, you have to ask. You got to move. You not just pray and say, okay, well, can I hit the lottery today? I did that before. I told the Lord, I said, Lord, can you hit me the number? You know what he did? He come to my dream, he says, son, you got to buy the ticket first. I said, well, that's true. But anyhow, it is a true story. I'm so glad to let you guys know this because I tested him so much that I'm scared. I'm feeling like he's watching me everything I move right now. And I become a better person. I become a better person. Believing Jesus make me become a much better person. I forgive my sister that I haven't talked to him for 16 years. I learned how to forgive from God. My sister and me, we are fall off for the longest time. I told myself, I said, you know what? Even the funeral, I'm never going to show up. That's how much we hate each other at that time. But then again, you want to be a good Christian, you got to learn how to forgive people. And I thought I did. Because I told my wife, I told everybody, say, oh yeah, you know what? I forgive him. I don't even know, is that really her fault or my fault? But at that time, I feel like I'm not wrong, she was wrong. And I say, I forgive you. When I say I forgive you, at that time, I realized this. I thought I did. I forgive somebody. But you know what? One day she called me, and just hear her voice, I got mad already. And then I was in the car, sitting on the red light in the section. My sister called me. I heard her voice and I'm mad right away. I don't know why. But then again, after they hang up, green light coming, I drove, and I asked myself, saying, why am I mad at them? I thought I forgive them already. I should be mad at them. The red light come again in the intersection. I'm sitting right over there in the red light. It was a midnight, I remember. It was at night. I just came out from work. And I asked him, I said, Jesus, I thought I forgave my sister. But why I still mad? Just to hear their voice. I should be like, okay, I forgive you. Whatever that she asking for, whatever she want me to do, I should just like, okay, well, you know what, let's do it. And then I realized what I say that I forgive her did not come from here. I'm just lying to myself. I just want to have nothing to do with them. That's why I say. But I told him, I say, oh yeah, Lord, I forgive him. So at that moment when I realized I was wrong, I told myself again. So it was, this intersection, red light, one car sitting at night, all by myself. Now I pray. I say, Lord, I want to be a really better Christian. And I meant it this time that I want to forgive my sister for real. One is for all. I don't want this burden to take it to the grave anymore. When I finished that, I told him, would you please help me to teach me how to really make me really, really forgive? And I swear to God, every hair in my body stood up, and it was a lip that coming from the bottom. I never felt like that. It's like it was like the moment that I was there, I cannot believe I feel the lip up just coming out of my body and just lip it up, and I was light. I was screaming in the car by myself. I said, "Oh my God, oh my God." I was breaking down crying right that moment. I was crying, driving home crying by myself, but it was a happy crying. I never forgive people like that before, and then I realized now I learn how to forgive people, like really forgive you. If I say I forgive you, now I know how to do it now. I'm not just saying it. Jesus made me a better person. Absolutely. Jesus give me what I asking him. I begging him, but then again, for me, I feel like this. I tell a lot of people, say, you want to ask him, you can test him. Ask him little by little. But once you got to the point, you have to move to, It's not just asking, oh, let me have this, let me have this, let me have this. If you want to do something, you want to be successful, can you help me to be successful? But then again, you have to move. When you move, God moves. He loves you, but he's not going to spoil you. He loves you, but he's not going to spoil you. He wanted to see, you really wanted that, son? Go for it. I'm going to back you up. I know he's backing me up. I swear. I tell my wife all the time, I say, he's backing me up. When I expanding my restaurant at Gapao, we used to start from the small size. One day I got a phone call and say, hey, Patrick, you want to expand? I said, well, we see. I used to put an offer on the expansion on the other side. When I was talking to them, I'm not even having enough money to build on the other side. But right after the finished conversation with the landlord, he told me, try, I'll give you a really good deal. I said, okay, what's a good deal? So we talk and all that kind of stuff. I said, I'll think about it. That day, when I got home, I prayed. And he told Lord this. I said, Jesus, if you think this thing is meant to be me, if this business, the next door that you think I'm going to open, I'm not going to fail and I'm going to be good for me, please, let me jump on the hoop. Let me go to it. I'm not even having enough money just to thought about it. It's like, this is impossible. But I'm telling you what, I jumped the hoop little by little. It's jumping and jumping and jumping. I don't know how we opened that side, but it's happened. We are very opening right now. We are very busy right now. And like I'm saying, you know what? He proved it to me all the time. It's like, look, son, you can do this. Same thing like everybody else. You can do this. If you have a plan, you wanted to do it, don't postpone it. Because you cannot just say tomorrow. You got to do it. Just like Nike, just do it. And don't stop really just like the journey. And then most of all, everybody want to be successful and happy. You have to believe in God because He's the one who keeps you close to the shore. He's the one who's making you feel like, come here, son, don't go too far. I'm a sinner still. I still go party sometimes, drinks and and all that. But then again, I have my line. One time I told myself, I see myself floating on a boat. Because of my boat is full farther to the shore. And then one morning I woke up, I was like, oh my Lord, how am I get here? And then I pray. I say, Lord, I'm sorry I'm wasting your time and all that. Instead of trying to do something good and Now I'm in the middle of something. Am I going to get in trouble? You know what I feel like? He says, son, don't worry. Come back home. And I float every day. I'm getting better every day. I'm back to the shore again. I'm on the safe side. That's why God is there to protecting us and say, look, if you move, I will move with you. If you think you're wrong, I'll come home. I'm here waiting for you. So what else you want? This is miracle. You can talk to God all the time. Trust me, I did. Okay? I might not get an answer right away, but again, if I really try, I hear that. I come to the church a lot of time when I have a question that I cannot get my answer. I come to church. I love coming to church when I have problems. I don't know if it's coming out right or wrong, but it seems like every time when you're starting having a problem, you think the first thing is like, I got to go to church. But then again, before I come to church, I ask questions. Before I walk in. One time, I remember I was having a question, and when I got here, Pastor John's supposed to be, you're supposed to be preaching, but they say, oh, I'm sorry today, Pastor John, I have something to do, blah, blah, blah. Now we have a guest speaker come from Australia. I don't know if you remember that. I said, oh my God, now who's going to answer me today, huh? So I would sit there, and I grabbed my phone and just like, whatever. So the pastor walking in and start preaching. And I heard him saying, but I didn't pay attention. One thing I learned about going to church is this. Pastor's going to say a lot of things because you know what? He has to answer for a lot of people, okay? If you're listening for your question, if you listen, because a lot of time I come to church and I see a lot of people sitting there like, if you don't listen, you're never going to get your answer. But if you listen, hallelujah, praise the Lord. I'm telling you, no, it's happened to me. I did that, and you know what? I didn't get nothing. I said, oh my Lord, how come you don't answer me, you know? So one day I decided to really listen. I don't care what pastors are going to talk about. I'm just listening for my answer. 3 sentences, 2 words. I got it. I was like, oh my Lord, he's with me. He answered me, he's just answering me right now. I'm getting so excited. Every time I come to church, I get so excited because I get my answer. I got my answer, and then you're feeling like, oh, he know you're asking him. This is a true story. I'm telling you this. I promise you, this is not. He didn't pay me to come here to talk to you guys. I volunteered to do this because I want you to know how it's happened to me. It's extreme and it feels so good. You feel so powerful. I feel like I connected with him. Okay, well, long story short about that one. So, okay, right after the pastor come in and he started talking, I didn't listen to him. And then, for some reason, I said, well, this story started interesting. So I just sit there and start listening. And I remember this. I was sitting down, and now I start into the story that he's telling. And I would start shaking. It would start shaking. And all of a sudden, I pouring down crying. Listen to his story. I was crying. And I feel like, oh my God, people could think I'm crazy right now, you know? And I was hiding it. I swear, I cannot stop crying. I said, Patrick, what's wrong with you? Stop. I didn't stop crying until the whole story stopped. And I was getting up. I said, oh my God, people would think I'm crazy and crying. When I'm lifting up and looking at everybody, the whole church is crying. I'm telling you, I'm not that crazy anymore. I'm not ashamed anymore. I'm going to cry at church because you know what? Everybody receiving the messages, they're feeling it. If you're feeling something that's mean for real, this is for real. I met Jesus. I met him when I was in a hard time, and he made my life much better. He made me a better person. That's why when I say I'm surrender, I call him too. I say, you got to come right now. No baptized day. Today is a baptized day. And congratulations to everybody that's going to baptize today. Being baptized is the award in your life. You believe in Jesus now. Talk to him. Don't just say, I'm baptized, or I'm good. No. Talk to him every day. I guarantee your life is going to get much better. Much better. Okay? I guarantee you. You talk, you move, he moves. Amen. And you're going to be a lot happier, everybody. On top of that, I helped Pastor Don baptize my friend. Kyle, stand up.
Tell the story.
He doesn't want to come to church, same thing. I trick him too. He doesn't like Jesus before. Like me. It's very, for me, I feel like it's common sense. I mean, I don't know why people don't like Jesus, you know. The reason I don't like Jesus at first because I don't know anything about, I'm born Buddhist. But once I get to know him seriously, he used to be really like no friend and hater. Every time he talking to this guy, he said that crowdy thing that blocking him or something. By the way, Carl is ex-fireman. He used to be a fireman, and he go to 9/11 just to helping people and all that kind of stuff, you know. But then again, what he see kind of destroy him. You know, he was broken at that time. Every time when I talk, I know Carl from another friend, not another friend, from another customer. I'm talking to my customer all the time, so when I see new people, I like to say hi. My name is Patrick, introduce myself. And he's always kind of blocking. Anyway, anyhow, somehow, one day, we talking about lunch or whatever. I invited him, you want to go to lunch? Yeah, let's go to lunch. And then when we go to lunch the first time, things start getting calmed down better. We start talking more. And why again, you want to go to lunch? Yeah, let's go to lunch. I asked him, you believe in God? He's like, not really, you know. I say, why not? He can fix you. But anyway, I don't like to push like that. So I tell him, say, think about it sometime. Maybe one day we go to church, okay? He said, okay, maybe one day. So that day come in, I call him and say, hey, you want to go lunch? He said, yeah, let's go lunch. But before that, I told him, well, I got to go to church first. Why don't you come to church with me and then we go lunch? And that was the first time that he come to church here, right? It doesn't take him that long. It doesn't take him that long to realize Jesus is for real. Because I talked to him and I explained it to him. I said, give him a chance. Why you block yourself? You got nothing to lose. You're going to gain more than what you know. I'm telling you, when you know Jesus, you're going to gain a lot more. So finally, he let it loose. And he called other people to come to church, you know. And then he's much better now. He's happier. He's going to get married soon. I introduced his wife to him. I drove 3 hours to Las Vegas at 3 o'clock in the morning because I know she was there. And I asked him, you want to go see her? Let's go to Vegas, 3 o'clock in the morning. I got there at 6:30, right? Because we heard that she was single, and then I heard from my friend that she exchanged the number with the fireman for the next day for lunch. And I told him, like, you better go right now to go save her. Let's do it.
You gotta make your move.
You gotta move, yeah. You move, yeah. When you move, God moves. When you move, God moves. I'm so glad to be able to share my story with you today, and I'm telling you, it's for real. It's happening to me, and I know it can happen to you. Are you for real to want to talk to God? Don't be shy. Talk to him about anything. Ask him something stupid. You know, I'll tell you what, God loves challenging. I'm challenging him. That's why he slapped me on the side. Until I said, okay, stop spanking me. So, I'm so lucky to be in church today to let you guys know this is my story. I don't know what else you want me to talk about, you know.
Come on.
But it is.
Patrick is the quintessential American story. Like the stories, I have like three favorite stories, actually four. The fourth one I can't tell in church, but but his stories are amazing, and of how he came up, 16 years old, Texas, probably the only Asian guy at that school.
Yeah, the only Asian. I'm the only Asian in the whole school. I went to a Footloose high school where everybody wearing cowboy hat, big buckle, driving a big truck. Footloose high school. Yeah, no, but then you know what? I meet the nicest people in Texas. You know, I renting a room from one family, and they took me in, and they take good care of me like I'm their own son. Hey, Patrick, let's go eat. I said, I don't have no money. He said, don't worry, I'll pay for it. You know, like I'm their kid. But then again, you know, I'm just some guy that renting the room from them. But you know,
Yeah, that was incredible.
that's incredible.
Can you share that my favorite story about the early days? Because you see the restaurants doing so well. He's expanded and everything,
Right.
but sometimes you see the highlight reel of success on the other side. Where did it all begin? How did you start?
Oh well, you know, the what you talking?
When you started the swap meet,
Oh,
when
when
you
I
first started in business.
Okay, yeah. Well, you know what? I always want to be in business. Always want to be in business. I think my first business when I was start for real was the hair salon. I don't even know how to cut hair. But then again, one day the lady come to me and said, "Hey, Patrick, I heard you want to own the business." I think I was like 24 years old. Hey, Patrick, you want to own business, right? Yeah. I said, why don't you buy my business? The reason she told me that is, well, I don't know anything about haircut, but she told me this, like, I need to sell my salon because I have a cancer. And I know I'm not going to live long, so I need to save the money so I can give it to my kid. And I said, well, I wish I can help you, but I don't know how to cut hair. And then she explained it to me, this is so easy. There's 2 shares right here. They already rented it and all that kind of stuff. And then, if I pay for everything, the rent, the supply and all that. But again, she would take 40% and I take 60% just to cover my expense and all that. It was so long time ago. I didn't make much. And I asked her, I was like, well, how much money you want? How much do you want for your business? She told me this. She said, well, how much money you have? At that time, I've been saving up. I have almost close to about $10,000 at that time. So I told him, like, I have about $10,000. She's like, sold. I said, no, really? I said, just sold. So I talked to my wife, which is we were dating at that time. We haven't married. But anyway, me and my wife, 40 years together. For me, my story about successful, I told my wife all the time, honey, I cannot be this far without you. And the same thing, she turned around and said, yeah, I cannot be this far without you too. So I don't know if she kind of like, you know. But anyhow, we built empire together. And I'm so happy that I meet her, and then and my life is getting much better. But anyhow, long story short about that was, I didn't make money out of that the first business, so we end up, one guy walking, and because I didn't make much money, so one guy walking, looking around, and say, hey, I heard you want to sell the business. I say, well, anything for sale when the price is right. I say, and then he's like, how much you want? I say, how much you have? He said 10,000. I say, sold. True story. We just sold it like that. But this is a long time ago. And then when we moved to here, this is the story about the swap meet. I think you guys should listen to this story. This is a very important story. When I first come to Los Angeles, I started working right away. I worked 2 jobs. My wife worked 1 job. And then one day, my wife come to me, it's like, honey, if you want to buy a house, because back then, my goal is like American dream, you want to own the house, I want to buy the house, so we have to save money and all that. She said, by calculation, we don't save enough money. It's going to take forever until we get the house. I said, what else you want me to do? I already work 2 jobs. How many hours you want me to sleep? Or you want to work extra? She said, no. We got to do something extra on the weekend. I said, what extra on the weekend, what are we going to do? So she came up with the idea of selling jewelry, like, silver, at the swap meet. I said, we don't know anything about the business. It's like, well, we just sell it. So I agree with that. I didn't agree with that. He said, when are we going to do this? He said, let's go to swap meet. Swap meet? Swap meet is ghetto. I say, look at me. You want me to go sell swap meet, but I'm telling you what, swap meet is a school for the retailer. You want to learn how to sell stuff? You go to start with the swap meet. It's the cheapest thing, cheapest investment, and you can learn a lot from there. You know how to market, you learn how to sell, you learn a lot of things happening in swap meet. Anyhow, long story short, so we end up spending $500. We send it to Thailand, and then they send me the merchandise because I don't even know where to get the merchandise. We put it in the suitcase, 1 table suitcase, 2 chairs, sitting over there. Swap meet start at 7 o'clock and close at 5. 4:45, we not even sell nothing. I was sitting over there, I was like, oh my Lord, this is the worst idea. Where you come get idea from? I was start getting mad. So one guy walking in is like, can you see the merchandise? I was showing the ring. How much is it? I'm not even know the price. I asked him, say, hey, how much is it? $35? $35, sir. He's like, tell you what, I'll give you 32. The 32? Honey, 32, what do you think? Because I don't know the price. She's the one who set everything up. They were sold. So we sold it. I was so happy. We break the ice that day. I was like, oh, shit, this is good. Sorry. I asked her, how much do we make? How much do we make? She said, by calculation, the ring cost $10. The space we renting that day, $12. So we make $10. Oh yeah, we make about $10. I was like, $10? Are you serious? I almost killed her. I told you it's a bad idea to be here. You know what? We spend 7 o'clock to 4:45 and we're making $10. This is the worst investment. She's like, honey, calm down. We're making $210 right now. I said, what school are you going to? How you figuring this thing out? She told me this, honey, if we don't do what we do right now, by this time of the day, it's a weekend. We always hang out with our friend. We spend $200 already. Now we don't spend that $200 and we make $10. Now we make $210. Hallelujah. I think she found God before me. And I keep my mouth shut at that moment. I say, you know what? You're right. 6 months, 3 months, between 3 to 6 months later, we did about $3,000 a day as a swap meet. And we are so super busy. That's how we start making money, collecting money, saving money. Very important to everybody. To be successful, You got to learn how to spend your money in the nice way. Don't keep on spending in the wrong way, because you know what? We are getting older. Most of the time we have chance 1 or 2 at the most. If you're blowing it, but don't stop believing we can do it too, you know. So what I'm trying to tell the young people today, or if you have something in mind and you want to do something, just do it. It's like Nike said, just do it. The best slogan ever. Don't stop believing. And I tell people all the time, you want to be successful and be happy, please, you have to believe in God. You have to. There's no choice. Because without Him, you can do it still. But then again, it's just like this. Just like this. When I was without Him, I push every day. It moves. It does move. But after I met God, I believe in Him, I'm talking to Him, and I ask Him to bless me, I push, and this thing moves like this at a time. We got to believe in high power. We have, and He's there for us. Please, I hope you guys get my messages. I love everybody because He tell me to tell these to you. If this guy can do it, you can make a piece of cake. I swear to God. You know. But anyhow, I think that's anything else you want me to say?
Patrick, this is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And you got to come back for part 2.
Oh, we got to come back for the part 2?
Yeah, part 2.
But anyhow, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Riverside.
This time I'm invited up Pastor Scott to come and close us out. It's a little bit of a different service, but meaningful, right? Meaningful. I keep telling Patrick he has to write a book. There needs to be a movie about his life because it's more fantastic than anything you've seen before. God has been so good. And I love it that you're so generous in sharing. Every time I'm at Grapau, that story you heard here is told to everyone who has an ear to listen. We overcome by the blood of the Lamb, but also by the word of the testimony. Amen? Amen.
Come on, do you get something good from this morning?